Hello?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hello, and welcome to the first episode of the 50-50 podcast. You are on my YouTube channel. Or, well, we're not going to stream this. Not yet, at least. Yeah, not yet. We have a special guest here today. Jordan. Jordan, how you doing? Hi. That's Jordan. And we are also here with Malachi. You may recognize the setup from our D&D. That explains the dragon in the background. I just want to let you guys know that.
We are role
I walked in here, there's a fucking dragon back there?
Yo, dude. Welcome to Mililani. Alright, so the 50-50 podcast. So I kind of just invited Malachi. No, I texted Malachi. I was like, dude, I want to do a podcast. And all he said was, send me an outline. Now we're here. Huh? Yeah, now we're here. Arun was supposed to be here, but
He might come through still.
he had something to do, but Jordan is here now. Which
In a way.
yeah. It's totally cool though, cause Jordan's visiting from the mainland.
His
All right.
skit for like
I apologize for that. No, sorry. There's some again, yo. Okay, so earlier, all right, we're having problems trying to start this whole freaking thing again. Well, sorry, I was having problems trying to start this whole thing, and I was like, Malachi, do you think the universe just doesn't want, X, Y, Z? And he's like, no. What did you say?
Essentially, the only reason why we have problems is because we have desires. So if you didn't want to do anything, you wouldn't have any problems. You wanted to do a podcast. Everything that happens as a result of that is your fault. So
Yeah.
So you got to fix it if you want to make it happen.
Right. So that thing with their mic not on for some reason. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, the mic's not on?
It wasn't.
This
But I
whole
mean, it's on
conversation.
now.
Okay.
Yeah. It was on now. I know, it's great, right?
Yeah.
First podcast.
Podcast.
We're doing
We're
this.
getting the kinks out.
Yeah, we're doing this.
We got about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, right. All right. So basically, yeah, we are a little short on time, but we can get to the other stuff.
Important stuff.
Yeah, another week. But just a little idea of where the name 50-50 came from. It was actually I was thinking about how people do podcasts in general and how they sometimes I really don't know what they're talking about. Like we'll be having normal conversations,
yeah.
Right? And that's how I took it. And then they started talking about like this, and then they started going back to that, the regular conversation, and then they started going back to this, and I was like, that's cool, But I was kind of losing track of where the podcast was going. So I was like listening to different kind of stuff, and so I thought, what about doing it half and half,
Mm-hmm.
Just half conversation and then half about a topic.
it's hard.
Yeah. Well, I figured one of the reasons why I wanted Malachi to be on this podcast was because I feel like he has a lot of
50-50 person.
yeah. He has a lot of
I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
But-
What?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I spend more time on YouTube than like towards college education.
Yeah, man.
That's okay.
Spent about 50.
I spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Hey.
Some guy pointed out to me today or the other day. He's like, "You just spend a lot of time on YouTube." I was like, "Ha." Yeah.
that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, so because we are pretty short on time, I will
It's
just
gonna be
move on.
25.
Yeah, it's gonna be 25. I will just move on to what I wanted to talk about, which is you haven't read anything or anything
No, I'm
because
going into this blind.
literally
Freestyle.
Like when
Yeah.
I was going to play Doki Doki Literature Club,
Oh.
went in blind. I was like, I gotta experience. Yeah, to me. You just gotta experience some things. Like you can't.
And you know what?
read about it.
That's a thing too. Like I wanted, you talk about experiencing things. Like I wanted to make more original content.
Yeah.
whether it be like you know the YouTube videos, but the podcast is actually one of the reasons why I wanted to get into more original content and all that kind of stuff, you know. And then it goes on to like, you know, I've been working on different types of sounds for my music and all that.
Yeah, I heard some. There's some dope stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of help with Nathan. He's really
he's really talented dude.
I met that guy for the first time the other day.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, Nathan. He's in Washington, right?
What?
He is.
State.
Wow, I had no idea. State? DC?
No, he's in Washington, and I met him, and
He's
he
cool.
showed up with a uke, and everybody, like, all the props. His family and his family's friends like, Jake Shimabukuro, man, come over here, bro. You gotta play.
Of course. But hey, speaking of music, for those of you that are listening or watching, we actually make music.
A lot of it.
Little plug for our crew, FTF for the free. You can find us at soundcloud.com/for-the-free. We make music for free. Just letting you guys know.
An infinite amount of music.
What?
When did you guys start making music? When did you start actually?
Oh, when did
doing
I
it for,
start?
like-
When did I start?
Oh,
back in
dude.
Yeah, it
MySpace
was a
bulletin.
MySpace bulletin board freestyle. Key styles
yeah.
is what we called them.
Key styles.
Key styles. Matter of fact, a lot of the members of our group, Moses, he's like, we used to battle against each other. Like
Really?
we weren't friends at all. Like we would like just diss each other back and
remember
forth. Just talking about each other's mom and stuff. Like it was bad. But yeah, it started a long time ago. I was with my cousin and his older brother, my older cousin. He was making beats. You know, everybody once they get the program on their computer, they're like making beats. And he asked us to test his microphones. It's kind of funny because that's kind of like where hip hop came from in the first place, you know, with MCs.
Yeah.
You know, like just talking while the actual DJ is the one mixing the sounds. And he was in his room just working on beats. He's like, hey, can you test the mics? You know, he's like a real shy guy, so he didn't want to record his own voice. So we were like, oh yeah, of course we'll do it, but you got to let us like rap over your beats, right? And so you know, we had never rapped before, so we're like, you know, getting all this money and paper and stuff, you know, like when we're talking.
Okay, so like they're super.
Yeah, like
generic,
just super generic.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I sounded like Lil Wayne. I was like, you know, all the money in the world, you know, stuff like that. And it was just, it started off with like emulating other rappers, you know, and that kind of took off. We did that for weeks, you know, just in our room, just writing all day
You know,
for the next opportunity.
I remember back when MySpace was still a thing. You know, I believe like somebody sent me a link to your music page or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last rap.
this is my earliest memory of Malachi, like when I didn't even know him, because I met him after high school,
Oh, yeah.
but I knew of him like throughout, right? And so like I listened to it's one of your really early stuff.
We had a song called Cheddar Man. We were just like in the music video, we're, like in the kitchen, just like throwing ones. Like we literally had $13.
I thought you were about to say like cheese.
No.
Like, craft singles.
That would've been funny.
Cheddar Man, yeah.
No, we weren't that corny. We had at
You
least
weren't that
real
corny.
money. We had at least real money, but yeah. But those videos were all on MySpace and stuff like that, and we had our page. You know, I think it was Lyrical Soldiers was our first group, and then me and Chris got together. Chris Fletcher, and we created a rap group called Last Revenue, which was universal backwards. And then that one kind of took off. I mean, we promoted a lot more, you know, we worked on music a lot more then. And then it kind of fell apart. Well, we created something called Team 808.
Yeah.
And Team 808 was me and a rapper named Vil, who had come from the mainland to Radford, and we had a bunch of people. We had Vontae Beats, who is Darrell. He was producing everything. We worked with Adam Martin, all those guys in high school. And eventually, once everybody graduated, it kind of just, you know, everybody went their separate ways.
And you know what? That's about the time you guys got together. You know, and you guys made Team Dethrone.
Immediately after that.
And you know what? I think at that point, I listened to a song that you were on. I think it was Firewater.
Firewater.
I'm pretty sure it was Firewater.
That's a throwback.
I know, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Links in the description, by the
Links in
way.
the description.
Oh no.
Little plug-in. You know what happens when you subscribe to someone on YouTube? You can click that little bell for the
Smash
notification.
that motherfucking like button. Smash.
No. I remember listening to Firewater, and I was like, damn, these guys sound really freaking good. Like
I love Firewater.
the quality was super sick. Like it was mastered really well. Like it didn't sound like separate from the instrumentals, and I was like, oh my gosh.
It was all thanks to Kyla. Kyla like put that hook down real nice.
Dude,
man.
It was
That's where it was at.
that whole tape was super good.
It was super good.
The first tape that you guys made. Oh my god.
You know what's funny is we actually had a lot of arguments about, because we didn't know where we wanted to do or how we wanted to take it. You know, like to the next level, and so we kind of argued about like what we wanted it to sound like, or if we wanted it to be fun. Do we want to be professional? Do we want to like try and take hip hop by storm kind of thing, or do we want to have fun? And I feel like that decision to
let's go read some books.
Yeah, let's go read some books. Like we decided to go that path, and I think that's benefited us. Because it gives us the freedom to do whatever we want. We didn't like pigeonhole ourselves.
But you know what? To be honest, you're talking about like the professionalism of it and the you guys wanted to have fun. I felt like it was both because you guys, all you guys wrote about what you guys wanted to, and then you guys literally had a song. Let's go sell some crap. So let's go read some books, bro. How can you not?
Yeah,
it was top notch, really right? Seriously, if you guys want to listen to it, links are in the description.
I got a fun fact about Super Villainous.
What's that?
So, if you guys ever pay attention to Moses when he raps, he does not sound the same in any of the songs in Super Villainous. He used to hate his voice so much that he would try different ways of rapping, like projecting his voice.
Yeah.
So if you listen to Super Villainous, there's not one song on Super Villainous he sounds the same.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, now it's like a superpower to be extremely diverse in his delivery.
Yeah, man, he's fucking crazy.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And then so you guys released your guys' first mixtape,
Super Villainous,
and that's when I was like, you know what, like I want to start making music.
Yeah,
the reason why, Actually, no, I was
poets.
I think I was a senior when I created Out of the Poets.
Word?
Because you guys graduated. You guys were
we were a little ahead of you.
Yeah, and I was like, and I think this is like summer of 2011, where I was just like, all right,
it's time.
It's time. It's time. And then so I grabbed Arwen and Rob, and I I was like, man, I don't know who else. And then so you brought over Marcus.
And Gabby.
You brought over Marcus
and Gabby.
All right, we'll get that. Let's go against it. Let's just hold on to that.
Man, she's Out of the Poets, bro.
Just hold on to that thought, right? So we had.
Just hold on to that thought.
So there's Marcus.
Give me the side eye over here.
And then at the time I was dating Christina, and then Sean came along. Yeah, and so
Sean's crazy.
Sean is fantastic. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's always in a submarine or something. But he dude is super talented. And I was like, you know what? With all our strength combined,
Yeah, y'all created an incredible
Voltron, dude.
Between the Lines.
Between the Lines was
flames.
But let me tell you guys, all right? You get your whole team, right? Team to Throne, definitely inspired Out of the Poets, man. And you know what? That's funny. The reason why we came up with Island Poets is because we're on an island and we were all poets. Oh, it's crazy.
Y'all was
naming. We were Team Dethroned because we were a team, and then we were going to dethrone the people who were in charge.
Every
that's
time
not how that happened. Rap name Chris was like, I really like this name, and everybody's like, yeah, we like it too. That's how that happened.
Every time,
don't let them fool you.
Every time we hear Island Poets, I always think of Jordan because we made a song. I forgot what it was called, but
it's called Get to the Chopper.
Yeah,
Get to the Chopper. Oh my god, that song was fire.
That's what it was, and he was like, "I love poets." I was like, "Oh, I always think
Jordan's
of that.
Genius, man.
I always think Between the Lines was a good tape. That was a good tape.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was about the time when I was just like, man, I need to get better. Yeah. Dude, Malachi's one of my inspirations for writing, man.
Me too.
For real, dude.
I try not to be last on any of the songs he wants me to be on.
Oh my gosh, I need to go first.
Because I feel like
I
want to go first. I wanted to go in the middle of the last song that we were just made. So Intelligent Abe. I wanted to be in the middle, but fucking Syph was like, I'm done. He's like, it's been 5 minutes. I'm done, and I was like, fuck. Now I gotta have a good verse to end off on.
Down, yeah.
You know what's funny? Like every time, like. I consider myself like a slow writer, and I don't think, you know, it has to do with like anything about skill or anything. I think it's just like I really not compare. I don't compare lyrics. But I do compare standards. You know, and so when I write my lyrics, I'm like, I have everybody in mind when I write. So I'm thinking to myself, is this gonna sound as good as it does in my head when I write it?
say it outside.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so constantly when I'm writing, I'm deleting, and that's why it takes me so long to write some verses. I mean, of course, there are some songs where just like, oh yeah, we're going 16 now, we're going 24. You know, we're going, you know. But man, other times it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I feel like with writing, at least for me personally, like it's kind of, I don't want to say it's natural, but I like to believe that it's a very fluid process. Like I just go, and then from there, after whatever, like as I'm doing it, I'll have kind of like an idea of what I want to come next, like how I want it to sound. Yeah. And then I'll just kind of fill it in with words after that, and then I'll kind of reverse engineer it. You know, if I need to. But normally, like I feel like at least in my head, like ideas come in like packages. You know, like if you're talking about water, if you're making water references, then, you know, like waterfalls are right there. They're like right on the tip of your head, you know, so you can move from talking about, you know, floating to falling, you know, down a waterfall. And it's just like they're all like nearby each other when you're talking about one thing. Right. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of, you know, I think we were talking about YouTube earlier. I don't know if that was on the actual podcast, but like I'll watch a YouTube video about, you know, one thing, and then I'll go and just watch 10 videos on it, you know, on different aspects of it, and do other cultures do it and stuff like, and just having a bucket to pull from. Like if I ever want to talk about this with anyone, you know, then I have some kind of background knowledge on it. I have like a little pool to pull from.
So I think in terms of writing, how should I say this? Enlightening yourself about certain subjects and topics definitely will help with the writing. But personally, for me, sometimes I think, because I use a lot of my emotion to write. You know what I mean? And also I compare that to my poetry. You know what I mean? For me, poetry is easy for me to write. First of all, because of, you know, of my emotions, but second of all, because I don't have to rhyme. But I'm able to really convey what I'm trying to say, you know. And I don't ever, whatever it is, if I'm writing poetry or if I'm writing like a rap or something, I never want to like say it, you know. I'm a video guy, you know what I mean. I want to show it. If I can make a short film with no dialogue, I do. Have you guys seen A Quiet Place? Like that. No. Oh, there's like there's little to no dialogue.
I've heard it's really good. Like I have to agree with you there, because I really like videos and art that's open to interpretation. Yeah. Because there's certain things that I take away. So I'm gonna drop a quick shout out. So Young Waifu Apple sent me some poetry last night, and she's like, what do you think about this? It's like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? I was like, it doesn't matter what I think. Like, what, you know, you need to, it's like, if there's how I interpret it and there's the way you want it to be interpreted. And I was like, this is how I interpret it. And she's like, you're pretty spot on. And I was like, then it's coming across if that's your goal. But I absolutely love when like artists are like, here's what I made. And then you're just like, man, like, every time Vinny's like in the chat, he's always just like, yo, the new Ye, the new King Cudi, and he's always like, I always get so hyped when he's in there talking about shit, and I'm just like, I read it, and I'm just like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm right there with you, yeah. But yeah, and in terms of writing, so the way I write is I'll do like a couple bars at a time. I'll make sure it fits. But what I am more concerned about on music or when we're making music is, am I matching the energy of the people that I'm with? So, like, I've gotten to a point where like I'm just gonna rap whatever I feel like rapping. It used to be bad to the point where I was a slow writer because I was too concerned of, is this gonna sound good to on the track? But it became, you know what? I'm gonna rap my heart out, but I want to match the energy. Yeah. And hopefully, like I don't rap, I don't make music, I don't write poetry for anyone else other than for the free. That's who I tailor my raps and my craft to. Like I don't really like having to think of having fans. I don't care. I could care less. Like we're doing it for the free. I'm making music for my friends, and if you guys are gonna enjoy it,
it's good for you.
Yeah, man, like, interpret it as much as you want.
Right. Yeah.
I think that one of the things I want to touch on about interpretation is like, because we make so much music, you know. Of course, I feel like inevitably we come across every type of song, you know, in our catalog. Yeah. But for the most part, like, we just do our thing. And then, like, whatever other people get from it, you know, I feel like as an artist, like, my job is done the moment I record the song, you know, and I put the song out. It's like the rest of the work is for everyone else. Yeah. You know, like, if you think it means something and it has deeper meaning and blah, blah, et cetera, it might have had it for me, but it's no longer my job. Like, the art is now in their hands, you know. And so I feel like interpretation is kind of the point of art. You know, you have a message and you send it, but it's still always interesting to see what other people do after you've created it, you know? So, I don't know. That's one of the things, we're actually working on a project. I was going to announce it. Plug. But I'm going to announce it officially soon. But basically, we're going to create a 10-song project that we're going to release it and let everyone in the world edit it. Right? They can add verses, they can change the beat, they can album art, all of that. And every week we're gonna update it with, you know, we're gonna look at all the changes that have been made. Yeah. And then we're gonna release it again, and then we're gonna continue this process for about 10 weeks, and then we're gonna see what we have at the end to really allow interpretation to kind of go wild, you know.
I can't wait for the guy that just puts like super loud porn. No, I won't share it because I do that all the time. You know, like, it's the only videos is I share on Facebook, or like super loud porn noises, or John Cena memes.
I hate trying to open up Jordan stuff because I never trust it.
So you have to. So here's what I do, right? I sprinkle a little bit of like actual videos in there where I'm like, yo, this shit's like, you gotta keep them on their toes.
Absolutely.
But
that's funny, you know. In terms of like going back to the interpretation, there's an episode of Family Guy where they're listening to, what's her name, Anne something.
Anne Frank?
Anna Kournikova.
Oh my gosh.
That's a Russian spy. Don't look that up.
They weren't looking at her.
Anne Murray. Oh. Yeah, they're listening to Anne Murray, and they were. So basically, it was about Brian and Stewie, and they listened to an Anne Murray song, and they both had different interpretations of what the song meant. Exactly, and I agree with Malachi. You know, that is the beauty of art.
Yes,
that you can interpret it any way that you want to, and regardless if you're wrong or right, it's still connected to you on that, you know, whatever level, emotional level, whatever, you know. But you're still able to get something from that song, or, you know, or art or whatever. And that's why people go to museums.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, they look at a piece of art and they're like, what does this say to me?
Yeah. What does this mean for me?
It's just something like, this is what I like to imagine with old art, is people are just like fucking sitting on a toilet painting, and then like here we are like glorifying it.
Oh my God. There's like doo-doo specks in the painting.
Yeah, like if I don't see you create that art, I just
Yeah.
imagine that you're just some guy that's like some random guy that's just like,
Yeah.
all right.
I mean, like, look around, like when you walk into a house and you see art on the wall, you know, you're like, what was this person like dying of a disease or something? And like this is like their last work, or was this just some casual thing? You know, you have no
like,
idea.
What is this? What is he trying to tell us?
Exactly. Maybe nothing. Maybe nothing.
That's the way I.
Maybe nothing.
Yeah.
But
Just wanted to paint some flowers.
I didn't think it would be.
I didn't think.
someone just like, man, I really connect with this. Like, it's just flowers.
It's just flowers, dude.
It's very soft.
I actually
colors.
spilled the paint. Like,
But you know what? Unfortunately, we have to end the podcast. We're probably gonna be doing this at least. I think Malachi is down. At least every 2 weeks, at least maybe
Absolutely.
3 or once every month. We'll see.
Yeah.
But if anything, any quick plugs or
SoundCloud.com/for-the-free.
for the free? Catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/GamingJello. I stream Fortnite. I stream Fortnite with Jordan actually.
Drunk Chef Ilmos.
Drunk Chef Ilmos.
Yes,
Drunk Chef
yes.
Ilmos.
Drunk
Yes.
Chef
Yes, he's got a
Ilmos.
vegan episode, so go.
Yeah,
check that
you know,
out. Go
he
check that
so Jordan's a chef. He just cooks in a hilarious way. All right, he gets drunk and he cooks. So
I don't script anything.
no, he doesn't.
So
he doesn't.
it just
freestyle.
That's the beauty of it.
literally just like me just cooking and whatever comes to my head at that moment
That's the beauty of
comes
it.
out.
Yeah, that's
But we also put on a gala usually every year.
If you're in the
We've had
Hawaii
two.
area.
Yeah, we've had two so
area.
far. If I'm
Yep,
Two.
that's correct.
Yeah.
So we're probably working on the next one
Very soon.
and it's just come out, have fun, and just
It's a good
catch
time.
the vibe, interpret it how you want.
Yes,
Art.
absolutely.
The gala's an art.
It is.
Right? It's
Absolutely.
an art. But yeah, so everything and anything will be in the links in the description below. And if it, again, catch me on twitch.tv/GamingJello, and then subscribe if you want to. You know? Sorry. Alright. I'll see you guys later.
Peace.
Later, man.
Later. 50-50. Oh!
50-50.